Hi sweeties, I'm Chubby Deigh. For those of you who are new, and if you want to be a sweetie too, please be sure to click that red subscribe button, turn notification bell so that I get notified every single time I upload, and please do follow me on Instagram. In today's video, we are on episode 4 of 5. I'm not too sure. I think I'm not keeping track of our Learn Makeup with D, and today we'll be tackling highlights and contour. If you haven't seen my previous video where we're tackling skin prep and your foundation, please do check it out. I'll link it on the cards. It is the episode before this one. I just want you to know that I'm not a makeup artist. I didn't go to any makeup school. I am just a makeup enthusiast, and how I name these brushes, it is from here. The goal is to know the basics by wedding season, which is September. So I know we can do it, guys. Very simple. So let's go straight into the video. I've done my eyes and base already. The reason why we're doing the highlights and contour is to brighten up where there is shade, and also to kind of lift your face. We contour to snatch your face so that it doesn't appear flat. Even a structure, we're putting structure into your face. We're enhancing the structure that is already there into your face. We are almost done. I can't believe it. I know there are people who highlight and contour using their foundations. I don't highlight using my foundation. I don't like that, unfortunately. To highlight, you will need a lighter concealer, which can be 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, than your original shade. I have quite a few concealers that are my favorite, that I like. I am only showing you these concealers to show that you have a variety of concealers that you can choose from. The issue is not the product, which is cheap or expensive. The issue is within the skill. So if you master your skill, it doesn't matter so inside a product that is expensive or cheap, which is why we're here. So we are upskilling our skill. So I have quite a few, and we'll go through them. I have the LA Girl Pro Concealer. If you are using me as a reference, this is in the shade Chestnut. Essence Camouflage Concealer, which is dark mocha. Maybelline Fit Me, which is shade 55. So you see, I'm giving you options so you can choose from a whole range. Revlon Color Stay Concealer, and I'm in the shade Hazelnut. Then lastly, I have this Rimmel concealer, which is my recent purchase, and I'm in the shade Cinnamon. So today I'll be using this Camouflage Concealer. I have my mirror down here. I'll be kind of looking there. Yeah. Like so, and here. So if your eyeshadow was overlapping, this is a way of cleaning it. And then same thing this side. How you structure your outer concealer, it's how you want your face to pull. Basically, the higher you go, like the higher your face looks. I also like dragging it kancane, like so. Then I do my chin. I do here because of my mustache. Then I'm going to take this concealer, which is like 5 to 6 shades lighter. It's way too lighter. It's the same concealer that I use on my eyeshadow, and I just apply it like this because I have a round nose, so I'm trying to snatch it as possible as I can. Then with the same concealer, I do this kancane only here, just so I have a bright under eye that is focused here. While we let that sit, we are going to contour. To contour, I'm using this Revlon foundation stick, a Dali Peel, I think from 2020 or 2021. The reason why I'm using a foundation stick is because I can't find a concealer that I can use to contour. I have tried the last shade yeah, LA Girl Pro Concealer that is here in South Africa, that is available in South Africa, but it's not dark enough. So I have resorted in using this Revlon foundation stick, and this is in the shade 620 Java. It was a mistake, kanti a good mistake, you get. So I was purchasing a foundation and I thought this would be my shade, kanti it's going to be darker. Then I started using it as my contour. You see, when you do this, this is how you want your face to be snatched. So what I usually do is from here, and then I drag it up like so. So when you contour, you need 2 shades darker than your initial shade. Then I also contour on my forehead, so we are basically kinda hiding the forehead, you know? And then later I will do my nose after I have blended this out. I'm going to blend my highlights / concealer using a brush and a beauty blender, just so you see the difference. So far I have noticed that using a brush, your highlights, like, it becomes visible, it has full coverage, because a beauty blender chows products. Therefore a beauty blender you will have like more of a less coverage depending on how you blend it. You can also start blending with the brush, which is what I'll do initially. Start blending with the brush and then top it off with a beauty blender. So I'm gonna blend the side with a brush and then blend the side with a beauty blender, then blend the side with a beauty blender again. So a beauty blender. With a beauty blender, you need a damp beauty blender. These are 2 same brand beauty blenders. This is a dry beauty blender and this is a wet beauty blender. It's not wet, it's damp, so make sure that your beauty blender is damp. There's no water that is coming out, it's damp, it's not dry, because using a dry beauty blender is uthatha all your products. When I blend my under eye, I love looking at the ceiling, hence I always have my mirror like this just so I can see what I'm doing. So what I usually do is look at the ceiling and tap. It was already drying out because of the talking that I've been doing. Yeah, I have blended it. I wanagali because I told you about beauty blenders, they chow products, but we have done a good job. Of blending. Make sure you go into your under eye lines, your creases. See, then we're gonna use a brush on the other side. Brush that I'll be using, it's this type of brush. This one is from Shein or Mr. Price if I'm not mistaken, because I have 3 kinds of these brushes. You see, one of these is from Shein and the other one is from Scarlett Hill. So the initial brush that I'll be using is this one from Real Techniques, and yeah, it works best for me. And what I do when I use a brush, always wet your brush with a setting spray, setting mist, setting whatever. Let me take you back. Same procedure. We look up and then we start blending. So you tap. Can you see the difference? With a brush you can see that you have highlights, but with a beauty blender you cannot see. So I prefer this look more. But if you're a beginner and you are highlighting and contour, it is safe to use a beauty blender because it chows products. It's evident, as you can see. So we're gonna continue with the brush on the other side. I'll try to apply a bit of my latest concealer just so we have into efana on this side. some concealers dry out real quickly, so you need to make sure that you work real quickly also. Or you can apply blend, apply blend, apply blend, instead of applying your entire face and then blend afterwards. Don't forget tapping motions. You tap 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 tap, you don't drag, because if you drag, get my tat. Same applies with the foundation. If you haven't watched my base foundation video, I have filmed it before this one. Do check it out, or I'll link it on the cards. As you can see, I didn't put any concealer on my forehead because I believe that putting concealer on your forehead, it makes it even cool because it is bright, therefore ila. What I do is that from the concealer that I have from my nose, I take it up like that. See, love it, Kesana. From here we are going to blend our contour, and this is the brush that I'll be using. You can get this brush from Mr. Price, Scarlet Hill, or Shein. I got this from Mr. Price. And standard procedure: wet your brush with a setting spray, setting mist. I use this one from Revlon. This is a setting mist. It was also a testing purchase, and I didn't like how it worked, so I was like, I'm not gonna waste it, I'm gonna use it on my brushes when I wet my brushes. So when you blend your contour, you blend it up. As you can see, I am blending it up. If you wanna go to like this, you do this. Mommy stock sweet, and then you blend. You just keep coming over again. You blend it upwards. You don't want to drag it down because it's gonna make your face look like pants. We're trying to snatch your face. As it's drag it down, we're snatching the face. Then on the forehead, you blend it inwards. Because Sivala ini is pong, that's why you're blending it inwards. If we're blending it outwards, that means we want it's pong see up here. So inwards, we're creating a shadow which is pong singaville. I believe I don't have a big pong, a big forehead, so unless you can be the judge. I know people with big foreheads than mine. Then from the products that is on the brush, I'm not gonna use any new products. I'm just gonna kind of on the side of the brush, I am going to, from my eyebrow, I am contouring my nose. See, no new products, because if you apply this dark contour on your product, on your nose, it's going to look like a harsh, very harsh contour, and it's going to be difficult to blend. Rather start with the one that is on your brush, and if you feel like ibonagal, then you can apply it on your brush and warm it up on your hand, then like that. See, then we are done. Onto our blush. The blush I'll be using is this one from Scarlet Hill. I know there's an orange blush, and apparently it looks good on dark skinned girlies, so I want to try that too. If you're an OG, you would know how I felt about this blush before. The Dischem sheet, it's how I was using it that was confusing me. So I'm gonna take this kind of flat dense brush, and what I do is I don't apply blush directly on my face. I do that, then I wet with a setting mist, then I start lightly first so that I can build it up. I don't just go in, so lightly already you can see it. So you don't have to do this when you're applying your blush, because the moment you do this, it pads. So make sure you focus between your contour and your highlights. Yeah, that's the best way I can explain it. If you're a tanner, you can drag it here. See the difference that it makes. Now I have blended it properly. This is how my blush would look. My cream blush will look like nje. This side, and you see the side being big pale. So I hope you can see the difference. Then we're gonna move on to powders. We are done with the creams. This is actually my favorite step. I love this step. I love how my makeup looks on this step before I apply any powder. I will suggest every girly to get this palette, whether you are dark skinned, light skinned, medium skinned, or whatever case it may be. Get yourself this palette. You can do a lot of things. See, is a ear cutter because it has been here for a while. I got this one from Goddess Dust. I have a second one that is still new. I got it from Dragon City. So China Mall, Dragon City, Blink Girl, whatever, you can get these things. You need to get a powder puff for your sake. This is a good investment. I will rub my powder puff here. If you don't have this palette but you have a compact powder, is it a compact powder? It's not a setting powder, a pressed powder. So if you have one of these, you can use them in case you don't have the palette. This is the amount of powder that I'm going to utilize, that I've rubbed all out of this palette. I'm loving this lately, and guys, why? So the powder of the day today is Quick Face. I'm gonna have my powder ready here. You need to make sure that your under eyes are blended correctly before you set them. Got powder. I need to bring guys closer so that you can see. You see, my under eyes have already started to crease. I've ruined my makeup, so it's easy to fix your liquids before applying any powders. Another tip is that do your liquids first, your liquids and creams first before applying any powder, because once you make a mistake after applying powder and you need to apply your creams again, it becomes messy. So make sure you finish your creams, then you're gonna start applying your powders. So what I'm going to do right now is take my beauty blender, blend under my eyes so that I can eliminate the crease lines, then take my powder that I've prepared, my puff that I've prepared with the pressed powder, apply it under my eye, and then dab into the setting powder. So you will see if you don't understand it or understand it practical. Let's do it. So I am blending, and while looking up, take your powder puff and apply your pressed powder under your eye. Make sure you get into your under eye, get in there like that. There's a difference between my pressed powdered eye and this eye. One thing I can tell you is that this palette has magic. This palette is the one that gives you the filter effect. Already you can see how my under eyes look. They look like they are blurred, or they have that smooth effect. So now I'm on to my powder, my setting powder. This is the amount of setting powder that I have, and I'm gonna swirl it at the back of my hand like so. Then this is how it is right now, just so it doesn't have loose powder, it becomes tricky. Then you go back under your eye. I don't bake personally, so the trick to have long lasting makeup is the amount of powder that you apply onto your face, but you don't have to apply ridiculous powder now. Then when it comes to my nose, I literally reverse contour. So where you know you sweat a lot, that is where you need to apply more powder. I know I sweat a lot on my nose. Then I also reverse contour. So Nimeta from Yinle, is it the earlobe? Yeah. Then straight to my mouth. I am reversing contouring. Like that. Then you can do the rest of the parts that you have applied concealer. So we are still dealing with concealer, compact powder, and setting powder. See, I am setting and I am not baking. Then we will contour. For contouring you need an angled brush bundle. This is an angled brush. I am going to take, already you know, this dark lightest last shade. I'm gonna set my contour basically. So for every cream that you apply, you need to set it like that. See, hlangana le filter. Then we are going to blush. I love using this palette. This palette is from Shein. I'm going to use this blush brush from Goddess Dust, and I love mixing these two shades. These are pigmented, so you need to be careful. Don't get overwhelmed, because got the with blush. I know blush disappears real quickly, so even if you can apply too much, the first hour you will look like a clown, but afterwards, when your makeup has set in properly, was over right. See. Oh my goodness, blush does something to your makeup. I don't understand people who don't love blush. Got 2024. Like, why are you being that type of a human being? Why? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Gati, cause you will get overwhelmed and you will look like a clown. We are going to be dealing with my nose contour now. I'll be using this brush for my contour, and I am taking the shade that is next to the one that I use for my face contour. You don't have to use the same contour as your face, because I have learned that it makes your contour harsh. Your contour must show, but it must not also show, yeah, but it mustn't be that harsh. You're going to do yourself a big favor and dust off the powder. Then with the same powder, yeah, going back to this palette, I'm gonna be using this shade that I used under my eye. And everywhere else, we're gonna set the entire face basically. Sihlanganisa yonke into wena contour, blush, and where we didn't apply any powders, like my forehead. See the filter effect. You see the filter effect. This powder, if you don't have it, minangaj, we basically done. On our next video, I'll be tackling setting spray because I have a lot to say about setting spray, so I don't feel like this is a good video to do that. But after here, you are setting your face, then yeah, you need to set your powders with your setting sprays. So yeah, let me finish off my face off camera, then I'll come back. This is the final look, and I love how everything turned out. I hope you did take a bit of tips and tricks regarding the highlighting and contouring. Guys and guys, it is so subtle. It's not too much, but it's there. Do you get like so yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Next time we'll be tackling my lip combo, including the setting sprays, because I feel like lip combos, it's like a video in. Then we're doing setting sprays, then I think we are closing off this series that was very quick. September, so you have time to practice, go back to the videos and practice, you see. Yeah, so please give this video a beautiful thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, turn the notification bell so that I get notified every single time I upload, and please do follow me on Instagram.
Damn near 2 a.m. I'll pick up the phone, it feels intimate.